Hello my little critters! It's been so long since I've updated anything around here, but I'm back with this massive project that practically took half my sanity along with it, but honestly, it's such a thrill to work on it that I hope this video isn't as huge as the whole ordeal itself is. As you can see, this test neighborhood I'm in is actually a construction site for all the remodels I've been doing, starting with the classics, of course, and the classics are the Pleasant View houses. And well, because I've been kind of obsessed with the TS4 conversions and style for the game, thanks to all of these wonderful creators out there nourishing the Fortitude cause, I can finally decorate this recreation of the Goth Manor I had as a shell with the CC available, which is a lot of conversions I've gathered from this Fortitude conversion build by database, this holy saint of a website that literally helped this build come to life. Seriously, thank you so much for the admins and the people behind it, because this house is no jokingly 99% CC and the defaults I'm currently using are all Fortitude conversions, so I did prepare a document listing all the stuff I've used, from the tree defaults and the wallpapers and stuff, but if I did forget something along the way, you can ask away, no problem. I don't really plan on sharing this big boy unless I try decorating with the shell with minimal CC possible, because let me tell you, this house is heavier than Don Lothario's list of sins. It is chunky and probably prone to the pink soup Armageddon of ages if you don't have a nice rend machine or just suffer from pink soup already. And I am so sorry about this. I think this isn't really about the CC, but the size of the lot and the amount of things in it. And a bunch of trees and a 3-story mansion decked to the brim with knickknacks and furniture is the perfect concoction to pink flashing and lag, I suppose. The landscaping is also very lush, in better words, too much for The Sims 2 to feel comfortable around it, but I do tend to give detail to every inch of the build if I can, and it's a crucial part of the manor to have a perfectly manicured garden that would fit the style I'm going for. I did search for a lot of pictures of Victorian landscaping cause I think reference pictures are your best friend, and I happen to have seen enough castle pics to get the vibe of it. I love me some castles and their pompous fancy gardens, and I'm glad the Goths will finally have one worthy of their name, cause if there is a pet peeve of mine that inspired me to create all of this, is that the vanilla Goth house is painstakingly small, in my opinion. I don't know, it's good in a way that is playable-ish. Some people do report glitches, especially when hiring a butler, like him getting stuck and never leaving, but he has enough decor in it not to cause major lag issues and somehow look fancy and gothic. But that part is quite lacking for me. I mean, I get it, but this is my game, and I get to break it however I want it. And nothing is sadder than playing in this house with such potential that even Bella Goth wants to go back and see it, you know? Thus, this build was born, and I added everything worthy of a mansion to it. I added balconies in every bedroom, a gazebo, a pond, a garage, a Victorian greenhouse, a wine cellar, and I even added this secret section of the house tailored to Mortimer and Bella and their like kooky scientific studies. I was too invested in this, man. Choosing most of the walls and floors was a bit of trial and error, cause I had previously chosen some of them before recording, but I did struggle a bit to find everything suiting what I wanted, mainly because I was slowly downloading what I needed in between takes. So you can see a lot of me pausing, looking around and jotting down what I needed, what recolors I had to look for, and making sure each room was fine. Because I knew the layout of the house already and I knew what I wanted in it, I saved myself a lot of trouble with deciding what fits and what doesn't fit, except on parts where I was quite indecisive and it clearly shows on video. But hey, at least getting the basics done is good and all. If there was one thing that I wanted to keep in mind while setting things up, is that I really didn't want to lose the originality of the house. So I did try to keep some things in the same place, while changing their design a bit for the 4:2 version and make it fancier, I guess. Skipping towards the decorating bits cause the walls and floor in the size of cycling was too boring even for me to watch. One change that I wanted to have was to build this grand entrance hall up front with a chandelier and an X-Men mansion set of stairs to really get the schmancy atmosphere right. The dining room really stayed at the same place, along with many other rooms and bedrooms, but I did let the 4:2 decor shine this time and got it really looking vampiric, if that's the word for it. Now, I have happened to have visited some manors recently, especially the ones back in my hometown of Belém, where I went to stay with my parents last year. It's quite an odd place for a manor to reside at, cause Belém is located in the Amazon rainforest, so places like that don't really stay preserved due to the huge amount of humidity and heat. So yeah, it's lots of damage done to places like that, I'm afraid. But this specific manor I visited was refurbished not too long ago, and it was gorgeous, let me tell you. The name is Palacete Bologna, and the details I saw there, I tried my best to recreate back here at the Goth Manor, such as the inclusion of spiral stairs, the sharp angular roofing, and the dark wooden wall panelings in some rooms, and even the contrast of marble on brick and stone. So here you can see the overwhelming use of the vampire game pack that I said in the dining hall, where I chose to donate with the Belagoth red of all colors. But mansions like this one are always full of intricate wall panelings and tons of heavy wooden furniture is something that I think should come back to style, cause I'm a bit of a maximalist lover. Even though the gothic chic isn't my cup of tea, I see the appeal, I guess. Honestly, just down with beige, off-white, boring houses already. Just give me lots of colors, or the lack of colors, but in a way that the tones do complement each other, like in the Goth Manor. Just enough of everything boring and white, man. Give me back colors! The living room is my favorite part of the build because of the maximalist influences, such as the cluttered antiques and the potted plants, and it really brings out the late Victorian to Edwardian style that I really dig into. So it suits perfectly to show the Goth's eccentric side. Just adding in that morbid yet fun taste to it, you know, something close to the early 20th century weirdness that I think is such a nice treat. It just suits perfectly here. And to not forget the Goth's piano, of course. I'll be adding some commentary along the way, but I really hope you guys enjoyed the video itself. It's really something that really makes me proud of, and I hope you guys enjoy it, cause I certainly am proud of it. I do decorate this room a wee bit more, as I said. I had to download the CC I wanted still, and this old portrait of the Goth ancestors really suited perfectly the mantelpiece, so it stayed there. A sunroom really screams goth to me, so I added one to connect the dining hall and the living room together. I also added their chess table, some greenery, and the fish tank from the previous house, of course. the kitchen goes for this black and white monochrome look. It's very Victorian in a way, because I think every room really plays nice along with the colors and the schemes, but the monochrome choice for the kitchen really shines through as Victorian. One of the rooms that I had to change the color scheme was the study because of the converted bookcases that I've added. They only had one swatch, so I really had to turn some things to the lighter side, sadly. But I think it suits best because this house is very dark, so once in a while some lighter tones really do kind of suit the whole ordeal itself. It really just shines through, actually. One thing that I had to add is also a lot of curtains, because this house screams that it's gonna have loads of fancy, frilly curtains, so I had to see if every single window had some sort of curtain on them, so yeah. On the second floor, I did want to have this big picture of this goth ancestor that I know it's not a goth, it's this guy from Get Together. I do remember there's this huge mansion in it, and there's this woman, I think it's the Baroness, and it's his wife, and they're ghosts. And I do remember that because I don't play a lot of Sims 4 for someone who really likes the Sims 4 build by. I don't really play it. I used to play it a lot, and I don't really like it anymore because sadly I don't really see the fun in it anymore. It's one of the things that a lot of Sims 2 players feel when they play Sims 4, which is kind of depressing actually. But I do like to put this picture on here because next to it there is the pictures of the other Goths, which are the Mortimer's parents, and a picture of Bella, Mortimer, and Cassandra in their TS1 style, which is really cute and I love it, and I think it suits really nice here. And if there is a bedroom I really like the way it turned out, it is Mortimer's, and well, technically Bella's. I swear, that 42 rug with the roses scream Bella Goth through and through. I really wanted to keep the red and black theme in various places in the house, such as in the landscape with the rose bushes, but the main suite really needed to solidify that this was the Goth house, and what Bella Goth deserved was a nook of her own, which she'd probably spent hours putting on makeup and serving, you know. I did not add any more bathrooms, as in full bathrooms in the house, because no, actually there is another shower, but it is in the 3rd floor in the laboratory. So I guess you'll have the 2 bathrooms still in the house, and I think I don't really want to change the layout, as I said, too much. I really just want to expand on it. But really, if the Sims, if there's a thing in the Sims that really they really need are washrooms, and that means they need the loo. They need the loo all the freaking time, man. I think Cassandra's bedroom really goes more for this gentle gothic witch, just meek and shy, you know, the way she is. The original was way more yellow, like mustard, baby poo yellow, but I think the lilac just suits Cass way better. Alex's was way more closer to the original, even if I swapped some of the wooden tones later on. And of course I added a much needed guest room, cause every old house I've researched got like 4 of these. But because this is The Sims 2 and this build is big as it is, so 1 is enough to scratch my logical itch, I guess. Again, I do change some of the wallpapers and some of the wooden tones and some of the colors, but honestly, they don't make much of a difference. It's just me being nitpicky and a bit of a perfectionist. But this guest room can really be another room for an upcoming baby if Mortimer and Dina get married, or Bella comes back, or if the person that's gonna own this house is gonna be Alex or Cass or whoever. They have a spare room for any more children or the people that want to stay in the Goth Manor, so it really just makes sense, I guess. And for the newest part of the Goth Manor is the games room and the reformatic, because I do believe that they needed a place to have some fun that isn't the living room, because most of these old houses, they've got like this entertainment room that they have fun in it. They usually have games, and per usual, I did not put any sort of television anywhere in this house, so it's really just it's classic as it is. It's really old and antique as it is. I don't think the Goths would have a really big screen TV around here. So they do have this games room and the wine cellar that I've added, some of the spare room, a spare attic room that they've put like lots of old stuff in, and there is a laundry room if you want to play with laundry. I don't really use it for laundry. I only use it for decoration, because I do really feel like all the houses need to have this place for their laundry. Even though I've never tried a laundry mod, I have a laundry room for them now. Hooray! And of course, a place to put their easel, because there is an easel back in the original house. So I put it there in the tower section of the house, which is very fitting. No, but really, I'd love to have a tower where I would just go up and paint in there. I do think that is very iconic in a way, that you just go up to paint your dark thoughts away and brood. That is so goth. That is so iconic. And of course the paintings have to go somewhere, so I was neglecting that part. So there it is. So, what is the Goth Manor without the Goth Cemetery? Cause it isn't the Goth Manor without it, I guess. I did a lot of landscaping on this part, but I wanted this cemetery to be smaller, but not at the same time as unkept as the other one was. And the rose bushes that I've mentioned are usually around the cemetery, next to the gazebo, and really just framing everything with this red style, because I think this mansion really goes along with the red color. I mean, of course it is. Bella Goth and the Goths, they do go along together. You cannot separate Bella Goth from the Goth family, so roses are usually what represents her and this whole family. Even though she is not a Goth by name, I think she was born to be a Goth, so the roses really are her thing too. And I know the graves are decorative. I've built this lot on a empty clean template, so there isn't really any traces of ghostly remains in this. But I did want to put the actual graves on the lot when I was gonna put this lot to the actual pleasant view that I have, but sometimes I do like the tranquility of having a normal night every day, because ghosts in this game, if you don't mob them, they are very annoying, and the more ghosts there are, I don't really like having my Sims wander around every time it goes dark, because they are a nuisance, let me tell you. So most of the graves are decorative, most not, actually all of them are decorative, and I can change this whenever I want to, but I'd keep them decorative, you know. For the sake of my sanity, for the sake of all of the Goth characters and the Goth family and the Walkbys and everyone else, because ghosts, they do tend to attack everyone on sight. This game is a mess when it comes to ghosts. I don't know, I don't like ghosts in The Sims 2, but I do think they are creepy, and I do think that the ambience that they add in the game it's really just, it's spooky as it is, you know. I think all of the conversions from the romantic garden stuff back, I think the name is, it really suits what I was looking for all of this garden. The statues really bring out the macabre that I really just felt like it was lacking in the original house. I do think that this house would have tons of statues, and this garden would be too creepy to walk in at night, but beautiful at day, you know. So this part of the garden is usually where Cassandra gets married to Don Lothario, if she gets married. I mean, in my game, that usually doesn't happen, because Don is Don. And if there is a wedding at the Goth Manor, there's usually gonna be lots of wedding decorations on this particular part of the garden, but if there isn't, I usually take out the wedding arch and leave this place as a patio that is just an open space, because it just clutters too much of the garden. Lots of chairs and too much stuff for just this wee bit part of the garden. I don't think that it really suits to keep the wedding arch in there. And I also wanted this part of the garden to have another chess table and a very cute little arch stone bench thingy that I think is going to be very fun to take pictures in with your date, you know, just walking around the Victorian garden and sitting and looking at your lovely partner and just saying, oh my god, look at this, the Goths really are rich, oh lord. And I'm back with the download spree because I've started to put back all of the stuff that I said I was going to put in the third floor and all of the decoration all over the house, because most of it's mostly done. I think one of the parts that is not done yet is the laboratory, because I did take my sweet time on it, so again, I do apologize for some skipping and some fading. This is my first time doing a speed build video, because I've seen a lot of people do this on YouTube, wonderful creators who I think edit this way better than me. And I do go back to a lot of rooms just to rotate the camera and just look for things that I might have missed, and it just makes me dizzy to look at this speed. And I do think that most of the things that I do change when I go back are very small, and I will be posting the pictures so you see the end picture of it all. So again, I do apologize for that. I do think that I might do this also because the time is so long if I don't edit this out. It was hours on end, and I know this video might have been way bigger if I didn't do this. So again, I apologize for that. And we as sim players, we usually cycle through loads of patterns and go back and change the smallest of things and try to... I know it looks boring, and I'd like to see the thought process of a lot of people when they do this in the speed builds that I've seen on YouTube, but I don't know if I really have something to say about my thought process, because for me it's usually just indecisive cycling all over the place. But this video was scripted for like half of it, and I did start to just speak and ramble on as the video went on, so I think you might notice that also. But most of the rest of the video is usually me just adding some little things to each room, stuff that I might have missed, or stuff that I think it suits better in another room, or that I was saving up, and you know, the process of all sim players building. I think from what I've seen, there's people who just kind of organize what they want to use. I kind of did that usually, but because this build was kind of improvised on me pausing and going back to download some things that I've wanted, I think most of the stuff that I knew I wanted, I couldn't really just put it somewhere to put it back on the stuff that I wanted it in. So this is excuse me, this is exactly what I was thinking when I was looking through the video, like through the footage. OMG, you're taking too long to decorate all of this. But honestly, I do like to see people going through what they might have put it in some place or the other. I think that's a part of every builder's process, that you usually do this trial and error, that you might just not want one thing to go here, so you just kind of put it in the back burner and just pull it back. And I think every builder does that, because when I saw lots of videos, I did see a lot of people doing the exact same thing, and I was like, so this is it. This is how Sims players think. The stark contrast between this lab and the house is so funny, because this lab is sterile and it's grey, white. It has no colors, it has no antiques. It is just a secret lab that you'd see in science fiction, and it is like nestled inside this old mansion. It really makes you wonder how did I build this, but I know Mortimer and Bella had this for a long time, because in my game at least they were a science couple. So this is where Mortimer had the elixir of life built in, and this is exactly I know this goes more for this curious, strange town, get to work 4-2 conversion style, but I think it is the contrast that really just makes this lab stand out. I also do believe it adds quite a bit of lore for the house, and it adds in the lore for Goth and the aliens and all of the stuff that I want to actually tell in the next videos that I'm gonna use this house. So it really makes you wonder, how am I gonna do this? But it's just, it was in my mind all the time that this house is gonna be a lot useful for storytelling. So sadly, most of these are just decorative. There is a robotics station and a medicine maker and the hydroponic garden, but the other things that are from the get to work conversions are just decorative, sadly. I do think that the robot station suits perfectly in here, because before I had no idea where to put it, and here is just, it fits right in, so I don't know, it's just a win-win, I guess. And with that, we finally reached the end of the video, because oh my god, I did it! The whole thing, it is done, and the only things that I was just adding in were just very minor things, but this is it. So I want to thank you. I want to thank actually all the creators such as T-Vicky Sims, Lord Crumbs, the Ninth Wave Sims, Little Simsies, and everyone who allowed me to build this. Seriously, the TS2 community is awesome, and I'm always amazed by all of the wonderful creators here. And yes, this is the start of a brand new take on Pleasant View, on which I'll be sharing with you guys soon. So thank you again for watching. Make sure to comment what you think of this. I did want to make sure that this was one of the most extravagant builds I've ever done in my entire life, so it really means a lot to know the feedback and to go back and revamp the channel, because this channel, the previous videos that I've done, I do want to keep my drawings on them, but I do want to revamp the style of the channel, and as a whole, I do think that the way that I want to make these new videos might just be a tad different from what I was doing. I do want to recreate the Strange Town Let's Play, cause this Pleasant View here, it is included with Strange Town. It is a neighborhood with Strange Town, and people usually call it Strange View. So I already did tons of remakes and redos and all of the refurnishing from basically all of the houses available, and I'll be posting all of the stuff that I want you guys to see soon enough. So thank you again for all of this time that you spent with me watching the Goth Manor be built, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, or whatever your day's in, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.